Ivar the Boneless is one of the many characters we've got more acquainted with in the second half of Season 4 of Vikings, and in this video, we are going to discuss him transitioning from the vulnerable, insecure son of Ragnar Lothbrok to the developing a cruel and rage-filled mentality that will ultimately have a huge impact on the second half of Season 5. Ivar is different from his brothers. He has had a much more difficult life due to his physical disability. I can remain somewhat sympathetic to his plight, but as I watch the show and gain more knowledge of the Viking culture, the more I see of Ivar, the more I associate him with insanity and madness in the show. However, with this negative mentality has not always been the case with Ivar. Early on, Ivar encompasses an innocence and vulnerability. It's not a stretch to say that because of his physical disability, Ivar has always felt inferior to his brothers despite their reassurance of the contrary. Just before he is murdered by Ivar in episode 20 of Season 4, Sigurd mocks Ivar by saying he was babied by Aslog because of his physical disability. Ivar always knew he was different from his other family members, and he longed to feel like he belonged with them, that he was part of the pack. This yearning is why his interactions with his father Ragnar Lothbrok are so interesting. It must be remembered when Ivar was an infant that Ragnar wanted to leave him the forest to die because of his deformities. And later, when Ragnar abandons his family after the raid of Paris in Season 4, it is logical to think that young Ivar is left with feelings of abandonment in addition to his insecurities. But by Season 4, Ragnar's energy is different because he has already experienced most of his hero's journey. But when Ragnar returns to Kattegat after years of being away, Ivar's journey is just beginning. Unfortunately, this journey becomes severely influenced by Ragnar's death. At the start of the first half of Season 5 of Vikings, Ivar is completely consumed by the last words of his father, his idol and his hero. Be ruthless, show no mercy. Now, I have much respect for Ragnar's independent way of thinking, but this was an incredibly manipulative thing to do. Ragnar knew that because of Ivar's desire of belonging and approval, it would be easy to mold Ivar's mind. Ragnar essentially pushes his own lust for revenge into Ivar, using him as an instrument of retribution. Ragnar's final words get deeply rooted into the core of Ivar's character. He makes them his truth and reality by becoming emotionally abusive, sociopathic in nature, and developing a bloodlust that is yet to be rivaled. We saw the ruthlessness that Ivar unleashed upon York and saw his conniving manipulation displayed in his soft interactions with Bishop Hegmund. But perhaps since he is betrayed by the Bishop Hegmund, we will see more of an unhinged, paranoid, and untrustworthy Ivar as he has created more enemies all around him. Although Ivar has come a long way, he is far from done. Michael Hurst, the screenwriter and producer behind the series, has obviously planted the seeds of Ivar's madness, and he stated in his most recent interviews that Ivar's unpredictability, cruelty, and ruthlessness will reach new heights to shock us all. We all assume that Ivar will exact revenge and sacrifice Lagertha because he killed his mother. However, I do not think it will be so simple to kill Lagertha because there are so many moving parts to this equation, such as Bjorn, Ubba, and of course, the return of Rollo. The return of Rollo is bound to complicate matters because of his relationships with Bjorn and Lagertha, because we can't forget that Rollo betrayed his kin and Ragnar to further advance his agenda in Europe and Francia. Rollo could possibly undermine Ivar and reassert his power as he looks to reconnect with Viking culture at the end of his journey. And it is also possible that Bjorn could attempt to kill Ivar or intervene as Ivar tries to sacrifice Lagertha. And based on Michael Hurst's comments and the new trailer, I think we are about to see the rule of a new king. Mad King Ivar the Boneless. I think in the second half of Season 5, Ivar will focus on trying to humiliate his brothers, take his revenge for the death of his mother, and seek glory in a new fight against all of England. But what do you think? Will Ivar do something completely unhinged, like maybe kill another one of his brothers? Will he sacrifice Lagertha? And will he set his sights on England and try to face off against the new King Alfred? Let me know in the comments section what theories, stories, and what characters you would like me to discuss in the next video. I will be doing more Vikings content on the channel regularly. In fact, me and another fantastic YouTuber from New Zealand named King McKay will be doing our very first podcast this evening called the Odin's Eye Podcast, and we will be discussing Ivar, Rollo, Floki, and many more characters in the Vikings universe. We'll at least be doing 2 podcasts a month until Vikings comes back, and then we will be doing it weekly. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more Vikings content. I also do Game of Thrones content as well if you are interested in that. And if you would like to support the channel, get early access to my videos and bonus content, you can support the channel on Patreon. Link to my Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon will be in the description of this video. Thanks again for watching, and Skål!